Don't judge me, girl.
This is Andy McNamara for WCZR Code Zero Radio. We are broadcasting live from the PAC in Appleton, Wisconsin for Mile of Music 11. I am joined here by a very esteemed panel. We've got Rob from Into the Music, Bob from Code Zero Radio, and Marty Meatman Sosnowski.
I don't know if I'd call it esteemed, but
I'm slightly steamed.
Yeah.
I'm stewing in my own juices right
on
now.
this day, maybe.
Well, you guys are all important parts of the music scene here in Appleton. We've been doing a lot of interviews with some of the artists here, but there's also a lot of people making things happen in this scene, throughout the year. And we'll just kind of start with Rob. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and how people can find out what you're creating?
Sure. I'm the host and producer of the Into the Music podcast. And anyways, you can find me at intothemusicpodcast.com. It's a podcast that we basically focus 95% on the local music scene. Every now and then we bust out of the scene and go with somebody a little bit bigger. But it's been fun. It's been a great ride because I get to know you guys better. So
It's a dangerous thing.
Well, and you can also hear Into the Music. It's on 91.1 The Ave, Sunday nights after Christopher Gold's
Backstories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christopher's show is at 7. My show is on at 8. And that's been a great thing, too. So the podcast is expanding a little bit.
And Bob, we know about you.
Yeah.
You're responsible for this Code Zero Radio thing.
I do apologize for that.
You've recently taken a turn on your show Zip Code Zero, and you've started playing more music from the Fox Cities.
Yeah, it only took me like 4 years to realize I had to do that. But yeah, I mean, the music community here is so great, and it's so talented that it's almost a crime not to feature area artists on the show.
Well, have you been discovering anything that you weren't aware of prior to shifting as far as how you have your show formatted?
Well, you're putting me on the hot seat, man. And I'm going to claim the fifth. But yeah, there is some stuff that I haven't heard before that I'm just blown away.
Well, you can hear Zip Code Zero Monday and Thursday nights from 7 to 9 on Code Zero Radio. And then last but not least, we've got Marty Meatman Sosnowski, who's heads the Story Slams up in the Green Bay De Pere area. And you're getting ready to ramp back up into those pretty soon. You take the summers off.
Yep, we
September.
take the summers off. We're starting up again here in September. We run September through May at the Cheesecake Heaven, the third Saturday of every month. We have a Story Slam. It is, we pick a theme every month, and we ask people from the community to come and tell true stories about their life. We have, as you know, we have great prizes. We have tons of fun. I try to make it as fun as I can, but it really is about stories about the community. It's just a really unbelievable experience, and it's related to music. It's stories. It's just done in a different way. And anyone who wants to come and tell a story with their guitar you're more than welcome. I have no rules.
And you also collect donations to give, and it normally there's a different recipient every month.
Yeah. One of the important things to me about the show is that we go into a community and that we become part of that community, because my show is really kind of different than most kinds of shows that you do, because it's the people who come that make the show. I never know what's going to show up. I just pick a theme and show up, and you just never know. It's the audience that makes the show, which really makes it something special. So we become part of the community, and we always want to give back to the community.
I have a question real quick, is how do you stay so slender with all that cheesecake?
I don't eat it. My doctor will get mad at me.
And the people at the Cheesecake Heaven, they're really generous. At one time, they carted out a tray of cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody that was there could take a cookie.
Yep. I have them and Michaela Marie Sweets, and so I know how to keep my audience. You give away enough cheesecake and cookies, man, you're gonna have a good audience. Some rock and roll band should take it. The days of cocaine and stuff are like, it's cakes and cookies now.
Well, and if anybody decides to go to this, the first time I went, I was a little nervous. You said you didn't have to tell a story, but then you still feel like, oh, he's going to come up to me and just publicly, like, pressure to go tell one. You didn't do that. And the second time, I felt a lot more relaxed because I kind of knew what was.
Yeah, well, I kind of know what that's like. So to be in that situation, and so, yeah, it's just, whoever. I do have to prod people along, and a couple of drinks that people have really help that out a lot. So, but I love it. I really do. It's just an amazing thing. I've made friends, and I've made lifetime friends through this for sure.
Rob, you've been doing the interviews now for quite some time. Do you have a favorite interview that you've done so far? And have you been trying to catch these artists during the Mile of Music?
I've been going up and down. It's you wish you were cloned because there's so many good acts here, and so yeah, you try to catch whoever, touch base with some that you haven't seen in a while, and but as far as a favorite, dang, you're putting me on the spot, man. I mean, you're asking me to pick my favorite child, and I can't do that, so.
That's it. So, I mean, you don't have a favorite. You enjoy it all.
Well,
It's not like you run into this handsome stranger every day.
no. I've been fortunate enough to interview some bigger names and such, and it's just I keep interviewing, and it's like you never know what you're going to get, and you could have 2 in a row that are just wonderful, and so how do you pick? But, I would say if I were to nail one, the Safaris.
Yes. You're a big
Legendary.
fan of... Yeah.
Can I do the drum solo on the table?
Go ahead.
I'm
Just let me pull these away from my head. So the Safaris, when it's a band that it's probably at the top of your list as far as...
Oh, legendary. I mean, this is the band that wrote and recorded Wipeout in 1962. And, to be able to talk with somebody like that of that stature, Bob Berryhill, incredible.
And you got some pictures. You got one with some of the family.
Yeah. And, I saw him a couple of weeks ago down in Madison, and great time. I got to hang out with them for a while and even got to introduce them for the gig. So that was a privilege.
my Wipeout story. When I was...
it involved a car?
When I was... I think I was in junior high, like 7th or 8th grade, and I discovered the telephone and the station's number. And I would call my local station like every freaking hour and request Wipeout. Finally, they thought, okay, fine, whatever, and they'd play it. I was so thrilled.
You can tell the age group here too, because I have a Wipeout story too. It was probably, I don't know what year it was. I was in 6th grade, but I think it was 65. I was in 6th grade, and I won the 6th grade talent contest by playing Wipeout, man.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're like my freaking hero right now.
Oh man, that was a great day. That was a great day.
Awesome.
But my dad, right after that, then my dad wouldn't buy me a drum set. He said, no way. He bought me a hockey stick.
I've seen guitars made out of hockey sticks.
I've seen some broken teeth made out of hockey sticks.
Those two.
If this isn't the first mile for any of you, is it?
No.
That you've attended. So, looking back over the past miles, do you have a favorite mile?
Wow. I think, like Rob said, it's how can you pick one? Because they really are different. They've been different through all of the years. The thing I like the most about it is that it's more close and personal than most festivals I have ever went to. When I was working in the photography business, there was a point where I went to my editors and said, I'm doing no more festivals because I just got tired of it. Tired of all, they were just too big and too much, at least for working. It was crazy and I didn't like them, but this one really is different.
Well, you've done some unique things at these festivals in conjunction with Jackson and Company.
Yeah.
You did some storytelling in
Yeah.
some of the past, and it was built in with the oddities, I think, one year.
Yeah.
And Is that something that you would like to do again in the future?
Yeah, I love doing it. I really did, and I wish we could do it again. But it was tons and tons of work. And Jackson and Company, I mean, they financed that whole thing, and it was tough for them to do that. Especially they've had some changes. They've moved their studio and stuff now, so it was really hard to keep it going. I would love to keep. I think that there should be a storytelling show in this festival, but it is what it is.
You did something a couple years ago. Dave had a spot down the street, and I don't know if Rob and Bob, if you guys were able to attend this, but Marty put up pictures that he took during his concert photography days, and then told stories about them, and then of course there was a chicken foot throwing competition afterwards in classic Meat Man fashion.
Oh man, that was my favorite part. And you know what was funny? We did that for like 8 years or something of Mile of Music, and the chicken foot throwing contest became more popular than the storytelling show. People would come just to get in on that, which I loved. I loved it. I mean, standing in the alley throwing chicken feet. What can be more rock and roll than that?
Do you guys feel that this festival is going to keep on going and going and going? And
No,
going?
it's going to end on Sunday, is what I heard.
Well, I don't know. They keep stacking stuff. There's the after party, which will be at Appleton Beer Factory, and some of these bands, you wonder if they're going to stick around and just keep scheduling stuff. I would.
I think my personal opinion is this will continue until it'll jump the shark at some point, and I think it's probably going to go the route of South by Southwest. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but events like this usually follow that trajectory.
I'm still calling Sunday.
Well, if there is an act at this Mile of Music that you guys would like to suggest that people check out, I know, Marty, you've got some definite suggestions.
Scott H. Byram is here. As far as I'm concerned, Scott H. Byram has to be the best or the biggest person they've ever brought here. For what I like to listen to, he's just an amazing guy out of Austin, Texas. That's been around for 25 years, and I've never seen anybody that works harder than that man. He's on the road like 300 and some days a year all over the world playing, and he's an amazing man. And he's got one more show tonight. I can't remember the time, but there is one more show tonight. I don't have my schedule right handy, but
I'm on it.
He's on it. But you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss it.
It's up to you to ad lib while Andy's looking for stuff.
I found it. It's Lawrence Harper Hall, 7:20.
There you go. Don't miss that show. Don't miss it. I'm telling you.
Where's Lawrence Harper Hall?
I honestly don't know. I would assume over by Lawrence University,
Somewhere.
like one of the rooms over by the chapel, probably.
Do they have a big sign outside?
I'm gonna guess they do. I think it's right on campus.
I'm the new guy here,
Yeah.
so I don't know anything.
I haven't been to that particular space.
Rob, any recommendations?
Yeah, a couple of them. 6:10 tonight at Chadwick's. Blind Fiction. Wonderful, bluesy, 3-piece off from Milwaukee.
Is this a band you knew about before they were on the Mile schedule?
Slightly before, but just caught wind of him lately because I interviewed the bass player, Eric Madunik, real recently. Great band. Holy cow, they just knocked my socks off. The other one I would say is tomorrow. They've got 2 sets, is Mascot Theory from Madison. Eric Chelland and the boys. Incredible stuff that they're doing these days. More along the classic rock vibe, but man, fresh at the same time.
Bob?
What was the question?
Is there any artists that you'd suggest people check out ones that you think I can't miss?
I am so far behind all that stuff. I've been concentrating on this, and my wife Brenda has the schedule all figured out. So all that her.
What about you, Andy?
I would like to see Carlos Champagne and the Balcony Brothers, who have one show tonight, but we were talking, it is all of a sudden grayed out on the schedule, so we're not really sure.
If you get a chance, check out the Fox City Score YouTube of Carlos Champagne. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was so. Yeah,
a lot of
it's
chest
good
hair.
stuff. Yeah, lots of chest hair in that one. So where can people go to find more about into the music? You mentioned it at the beginning, but just again for the end.
You bet. IntoTheMusicPodcast.com, and everything is there.
And Marty, your schedule is going to be kicking off soon because you
Yeah.
also have a show coming up
Yeah.
at the 602 Club.
Yeah, I got some big stuff coming. I haven't done a show in Appleton now in 3 years, and we have one coming up at the 602 Club Saturday night, August 24th. And it's going to be a great show because what I'm doing is I've asked a bunch of the winners over my last 3 years of Story Slams to come and tell a story. So you're going to hear some of the best that has come to my stage. And again, up in Green Bay, we're the third Saturday of every month, September through May at 7 p.m. You can find us on Facebook at the Meatman Chronicles or on Instagram at the Meatman Chronicles.
And I'll add that the 602 Club, I believe, is 602 Drew Street?
Law Street.
Law Street.
Right next to
That's
Jacob's
close.
Meats, man. and we're going to have hot dogs and all kinds of stuff at this thing. And we might have a hot dog throwing contest. You just don't know.
Do you know if there's a cover for that?
No cover, no.
Wow.
It's going to be a donation show. I won't do a show if people have to buy tickets. I'm not going to do that. You know, it's one of the things about my show too is I never wanted people to not be able to come because they couldn't afford it. You never have to pay a ticket at my show ever. And same with the prizes and stuff. If you don't have the money, I'll give you a raffle ticket. So yeah, it's no cover, all in donations.
He's telling the truth because I've heard him mention that up at the Green Bay shows. Bob, where can people listen to Zip Code Zero?
You can tune in to Zip Code Zero on. Am I loud in this thing?
Yeah, I was just saying, there's that voice. I felt like I was listening to the show.
Yeah. Live.codezeroradio.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, all that stuff. But hit us up on the website and download the app so you don't miss any action because it's feature packed.
And it's about time that this festival brought you guys down here. Finally you're here. You better be here every year. Every year.
Well, thanks for tuning in and watching, and thank you, Rob, Bob, and Meatman.
I'm ready.
My hero.
I'm ready.
You've been watching coverage of Mile Music on WCZR.